Hi, I am Hester's Queen. Welcome to a new appearance guide. This time I will do Thor from Marvel and Thor from Norse mythology. But isn't that boring? The same character twice. No, actually, when I saw the movie Thor, I was like, what is this abomination? Thor has red hair, damn it! I will never watch this, never! But then I watched it. And I really liked it in its own way. The only thing I really struggle to like is the physical representation of the gods and the design of Asgard. Thor has not much to do with the Norse mythology, aside of the names and some character traits. And before someone says, well, it's based on the comic, duh! It's also based in Norse mythology, so same critique for the comics. I mean, what does Thor's hair tell us? He has fiery red hair. Fire is heat, it is powerful. It can protect you from the cold but also destroy things. And as much as Thor is a protector, he is also a mighty firestorm that can destroy you if you dare to stand in his way. I understand that they wanted Thor to look hot, and yeah, I guess he is. He is pretty now. But Thor represents no beauty at all. He is an embodiment of physical male strength. He is a guardian. He's brute force. So what I try to do here is making the beauty version of Thor and the strength version of Thor. Quick side note, where I live, we would call Thor Donar, but it's easier for people to understand it if I use Icelandic names and hope I pronounce them right. I will start with Thor. Chris Hemsworth has very soft lines. I think of him more like lightning, less thunder. Lightning is more piercing and beautiful, while thunder is more bludgeoning and hard. But no matter what Thor we choose, we're gonna go with body type 4. Because he's huge and he has muscles and all. Good. So I'm done, and I wished that I could find something with more, well, brighter highlights, but this hairstyle just suits him perfectly, and the highlights doesn't look so good on this one, so we have to stick with that. And it's a bit hard to find a very fitting face for Chris Hemsworth in the body type 4 area. There are not that many faces actually. I mean, I have a lot of faces, but nothing that looks very much like Chris Hemsworth. I just used the standard head one, and as skin color, the Sun-Kissed 4. And I honestly have no idea what mod that was. But I mean, every lighter, more bright skin color suits him well. I would not go too white, but also not too dark, somewhere in the middle. I would say this is a little bit warmer skin tone. Chris Hemsworth has more of a warmer coloration, that's why I chose this, but the skin color is not that important, honestly. If you're on console, you could also use any kind of these standard ones. I would say like neutral tone 5 is equally to this, or the warm tones are a bit underwhelming there, but just stay with neutral, sorry. Then eyes, I used the standard blue one. Standard blue one is perfect. You could also use some other blue tones here, but I don't use anything fancy for that, so that's that. Here is the On the Path hairstyle. For the hair color, I used the Soft Honey from Astrality's hair color collection, and as I said, no highlights because I can show you. Oh, well, this actually doesn't look that bad when I look at it now. but not that perfect. I will just leave it at that. And then for facial hair, I used this one. This is Jaw Klinger, and I believe this is from More Beards. I will link the right one in the description. I will link all the mods in the description that I used. And yeah, that's for the face. Let's go on with the clothes. So I put an armor on him, and I tried to make it a little bit more blue, but the only color that worked on this armor was this standard indigo blue. Well, it's a bit blue on the trousers, but all the other blue colors turned the armor into gold. And I didn't want it to have gold, because Thor has silver, blue, and a red cape, you see here. And I think he looks okay. He looks more like if Thor from Marvel would have gone in a medieval movie. But still, it means this of course has to have a Baldur's Gate 3 aesthetic. Here you are, perfect Thor. The armor and the cloak are both from the Extra Gear mod. I would say that is pretty good. It looks mostly like Thor. Oh, let's not forget the hammer. Oh my god, I forgot the hammer. Seems I accidentally deleted the Thor hammer mod, but I found something equally suitable. It's from the Elven weaponry chest, and I mean, it looks nice. It's for dwarves, so it's a bit tiny, and you can see if he turns, it doesn't fit right. But there are lots of hammer mods for Thor. I know why I have deleted that, because I thought I will never do a Thor run. I will never play with Thor. Not with that Thor. With Thor, on the other hand, I would, maybe. I mean, that would be cool. But we are not done yet. We have to do the second Thor. So, Thor is described as having red hair and a red beard, as well as a long mustache. A bit sad I can't select less abs, because I think he would work better without them. Just broad shoulders, a bit like Hafthor Björnsson, you know, strongest man alive. He would make a fantastic Thor, by the way. But I want to go with something more rough, more hard and brutal. I want him to look fierce. That god fought Jörmungandr. I mean, he must look like a menace. Okay, that is my personal Thor. That's how I would expect him to look. And I chose this face. This is from Ghastly Ghouls. I'm fairly sure it's from Ghastly Ghouls. And then I used Natural Tone 5, standard tone. You will not get this head mod for console. But it was just fitting, because there is something dangerous in this face. Maybe because it was from Ghastly Ghouls. That's zombies. But yeah. Then, the eyes, I choose white 3. And as you see here, this looks more grey. And I wanted to have a grey color like steel. A little bit into the realms of blue, but not too much. Not too much. And the hair is from this curly hairstyles from Boo Boo Bull. He made some of the most incredible hair mods. And this is one of it. It looks just good. Please, this looks good. And I used the hair color tone from Astrality's Vibrant Copper. And before you say, well, that is not actually fiery red, it is. Because have you seen fire? It's not ruby red. It is more of a copper red. Or let's not say copper, but orange. It's more orange. And if you think like your ancestors have maybe thought, this is fiery red to them. So it works in my head at least. And yeah, that's that. The beard is also from the more beards mod. I think it's the part 2 or 3. And I like this because it has this long mustache. Because he's described as having a long mustache. And yeah, now we have to find some clothing for him. Okay, I'm done with my wonderful Thor. What do you say? I mean, you cannot say that this doesn't look cool. Okay? I tried to find a color that makes you imagine a thundery sky, like shortly before the lightning strikes. And then the fiery red hair, fierce look, really cool stuff. The armor is also from Extra Gear, but in fact I just used this because it looks a little bit more like northern clothing back then, or northern armor. They wore like chainmail and iron, so it was okay for me. Also, I mean, this is, here you can see it again, and probably like at home when he launches by Sif, his wife, he would probably wear something like that. I used that for Halsin when I tried to make him as a Viking, and he looks awesome with this, and Thor looks also awesome with this. But as an armor, I would choose something like that. Also, I have a nice hammer here. Okay, turn around, please. Look at that. Like, this would more be like a war hammer, not the thing that Thor wields. This is a real war hammer. It's more tiny, but this is really heavy stuff, so yeah. He would wield something like that. So here are some interesting facts about Thor's gear. He has not only Mjolnir as a magical weapon, he also has a magic belt, Mengengird, and magic gloves, Jörngreipr, and 2 goats called Tangrisnir and Tangnjoster, and these 2 goats are driving his chariot. So while there are a lot of Thor classes, I would choose for Thor here the Thundercaller class. It's pretty new, and wait, I show you. It's cool. It's just cool. Okay. Normally I don't talk a lot about classes because I don't feel that I can say much about this. I use them. I don't think I'm very good at it. I'm alright. I mean, not the best fighter ever, so you can choose here between Amplifier, Echo Eidolon, Sonic Controller, and Thunderer, and of course I would choose the Thunderer. And well, he is not very defensive, so if I use a class, okay, I don't min-max anything or try to well, make it as effective as possible. I just look what suits the character and I take that. So I would say great weapon fighting. That's probably good. Yeah, I have the mod where you can choose a deity. He can choose himself. Wait, he can choose himself. Where is he? Is Freyr Thor. So, he can now pray to himself. Yeah, and whatever. Let's take it. Let's take that. Okay, confirm. So, here you go. Thor, Thunderer. I mean, I will not show this class because, as I said, I cannot say much about classes. I just use them like other people use clothing. I use mainly clothing, and I think about characters that I can play, and other people look more towards how they make their class most effective. So there is stuff in there for everyone. I love this game. I love this game. I have made 2 very nice versions of Thor, and you can choose whatever you like. I would prefer always a Thor like that over a Thor like that. So yeah, that's that. I don't know if I should do any of the other gods. I mean, it would be fun. It would definitely be fun to make Odin with his 2 wolves and 2 ravens by his side. That would be awesome. And Loki, or Loki, how he's called in Icelandic, also very, very nice. And also the other gods, I mean, Sif, Frigg, Hel, Heimdallr, so Heimdall. That could be interesting because Heimdall looks completely different to Idris Elba because he's not black. So that could be an interesting one. And yeah, also there would be a Skadi, Tyr, that's my protector god, Baldur, Frigg, Freya, Freyr, and well, that would be nice. If you want to see any of that gods, tell me, or I will just do it if I want to. So that was it. I hope you had fun. Until the next video. Bye bye.